listen to me. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk to y'all real quick. Hey, Ward, I got a problem with you, bro. I got a problem with A-Ward. Wait a minute. Before I talk about this, go ahead and hit that 4K. It's 4K. It's an upgrade, bro. Wait a minute. What y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to, you know what I mean? But hit that 4K. Now, listen. I do want to say this. I watched Reed Dallas versus A-Ward. Shout out to Rare Breed Entertainment for giving us something for the 4th of July. I appreciate that. The battle between A-Ward and Reed was all right. You know what I'm saying? It was all right. But how you gonna talk to Reed like that? Have you lost your mind, A-Ward? Do you know who Reed is? That's Reed. A-Ward was talking crazy. Shout out to A-Ward. You know what I'm saying? I rock with you. Shout out to you. Now, I do want to say this. Watch the battle if y'all can. I'm seeing a lot of blowback, right? A lot of people are talking about NOME, you know, and some people are feeling some type of way. They're saying like, oh, this is NOME Legacy. And like, why are we seeing like matchups like this? Like a lot of this doesn't make sense. This is what I want to say. This is my perspective. Everybody's got a different perspective of it. I understand what everybody's saying, and I'm going to second that. You know what I mean? But I do want to say this before I get started. You got to expect different things like moving forward, right? So a lot of the issue is a lot of the battle rappers, from what I understand, you know, I could be wrong, but from what I understand is a lot of people, for one, are pricing themselves out of battles is what it is. You know, so some people are pricing themselves out of battles, and then for two, you don't want to continue to have the same people over and over again, like on Gnomes and Summer Madnesses, because you got to get to a point to where you're pushing the newer acts and the newer artists. And you got some people that deserve like looks, and they're not getting them because some people are just like beating them out by their name. Not necessarily giving us the best performances. And, you know, we've seen time after time, like you've had like dope names on the card, but a lot of times the battles can be lackluster, you know, so I think we need to get away from just having the names all the time, you know, to kind of move in like the newer talent in. You know, I kind of understand what they're saying, but this is what I want to say. Second in like what everybody's saying. Listen. So they're having an issue with selling out NOME. Like it hasn't sold out yet. And I looked at like they still got general admission tickets or whatnot. And I put out a post like, yo, like it's not selling out. Easy to Block Captain commented on it. He was just like, yo, like it's because the flight prices are too high. I don't think that's what it is. I think what's going on is that people are not marketing. See, here's the difference, right? You get a situation where Sue Surf, Daylight, people like that, you know, Averb, they get on in the spaces and they start marketing so crazy. A lot of times you forget that battles are supposed to go down like in the same week or the week after. You forget because they're so into marketing and building the bag for future battles that, you know, you kind of just lose sight of what's going on like with the leagues and when they're dropping, because they're not dropping anything on YouTube. And then a lot of times, like after Caffeine, when it drops on the app, you're just seeing the same things like over and over again. So it is what it is with that, you know, but the power of the marketing with Averb and Sue Surf, or the power of the marketing with other people like Daylight and stuff like that, you start to see why these are the sought after artists that people want to see, right? So now you got a situation where Nun and Danny Myers is going to be on NOME. I rock with both of them as artists. I think they're both incredible, but I haven't heard any marketing aside from, I think like one or two interviews from like Danny Myers, like talking about it. I haven't heard much about Nun. I heard him in a space when I think they were going in on Surf about not paying stumbles. He was in there. But I didn't hear much about him marketing his battle that's coming up. Real Sick is about to battle K-Shine, which I think is like, you know, that's a great opportunity for Real Sick. Not so much for K-Shine. He's lost so much and now he has to battle Real Sick. But it's a good opportunity for Real Sick. So if I'm Real Sick, I want to market this battle as much as I can. Now, I seen he did an interview on PSA Podcast. He was talking about the battle. But sometimes you may have to do more than that. And you may have to market. Like I put out a post before I get to the predictions or whatever. I put out a post and it was just like, yo, what are the box office matches that we have left? I put like Easy to Block Captain versus Calico and, you know, like I think Daylight versus Lux, like box office matches. And then when I got to Sue Surf's name, it's like Sue Surf versus JC. That's box office. Sue Surf versus Goods. That's box office. Sue Surf versus maybe even a potential stumbles in the future if he does well. That's box office. You see what I'm saying? Him and Aver, like battles like that. Those are box office matchups that, you know, would sell because they're building the anticipation. They're creating the storyline through spaces. And some people look at it like, yo, like, how are people talking about all this extra stuff in spaces? The battlers may be looking at it like, yo, this is an opportunity to get a bigger bag. You know what I mean? And Surf even commented on the post, and he was just like, it's looking like X, Y, and Z amount of dollars for the names that I put out there. And you got to think about it. Like, even Stumbles, the reason why Stumbles, and I talked about it before, is he's such a breath of fresh air. He's willing to get out there and do the hard work, which is marketing, getting into spaces, talking to people, even though we don't want to hear about spaces all the time. Getting into spaces, talking to people. He's going on the Angry Fans channel talking. He's doing his blogs. He's doing everything he needs to do to stay relevant to the culture, even though other things are going on, that people cared more about Stumbles and Surf than they did about NOME. You know what I mean? And I think that's incredible for a newer act to come into battle rap and do that. So in the future, he could be looking at a Surf battle if he ends up taking these battles that he may have lined up and do well. You know, whereas you guys like are in a situation where you don't know him, and I'm not hearing much. You know, so y'all got to think about lining up future battles in the future, you know, and some people think about like, oh, well, battle rap, you know, I don't want to get into the negativity. Well, battle rap is negative. Wait a minute. It is, you know, and it's just what it is. And some people, well, why people want to see Daylight? Like, he just battled like King Los. Anybody care about that? Because he sat out. He sat out and he stayed marketed. And now some people want to see him versus Surf and to see potentially what can happen with that. Not so much Daylight versus Lux, which could possibly happen this year, you know, but they want to see Daylight versus Sue Surf, you know what I mean? Because of the level of marketing that Surf is doing. So y'all take that for what y'all want. Y'all got to think about y'all future, and y'all got to think about the bags. You don't know how long caffeine is going to be around. You don't know how long URL is going to continue to do this. You know, so make sure you're taking the appropriate steps to line up the battles in the future. Now, I do want to talk about this, right? NOME is coming up, right? I think the only battle on NOME that I'm interested in, you know what I mean, that has been marketed to me is the battle between Easy the Block Captain and Goods. You got, what was it, K-Shine versus Real Sick. You know, if I had to pick somebody on that, I'm going to go with K-Shine 2-1. Even though, you know, he hasn't really been winning all like that, I'm still going to go with K-Shine. I think Real Sick is capable of beating him, but I got K-Shine potentially winning this thing 2-1. Just me, you know what I mean? If I'm wrong, I get on here and say Real Sick won. It is what it is. Swamp versus JC. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I can't say I want them to market because they got to focus. It's $100,000 on the line. It's a different situation, you know, but I will say this. I've seen JC live, you know, Swamp, and I'm telling you like this. Please do not sleep on this guy. You know what I mean? And I think that you understand the where you are in battle rap, like the way you perform during that needy battle. I think you will be all right versus JC. I think you will be all right. My only fear is that these judges are probably going to pick him because of who JC is versus what's going to happen that night, you know. But JC on a main stage is still dangerous. You know what I mean? He made B-Dot sit down. You know what I mean? He ended up beating Rum Nitty on a big stage. I was in a room like him versus Rum Nitty versus him versus Rum Nitty at Summer Madness. Rum Nitty had bars, the 5 on the glass, like the inmate visit, big gauge gripping, like all that. Like it didn't matter. You know, it came with the Ike Turner and all that, and he won the battle. Like he can do that. You know, so if I had to go with somebody in a battle like that, I'll probably end up going to Swamp. You know, I think Swamp may end up winning the battle, but I think they're going to end up edging JC. You know what I'm saying? The judges, I think that's what they're going to do, you know, but I think Swamp's probably going to win the battle. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. You know what I mean? Then you got Danny Myers versus Nun Nun. I get why Nun Nun is being pushed. You know what I mean? A lot of people saying he's been getting robbed. He's actually good, but I think Danny Myers probably is going to be too much for him. He's a little bit too versatile, you know what I mean? But Danny Myers, you got something to prove. You didn't do really well against Av, you know, and you got Surf calling you out. You did well against Rock. You didn't do that well against Av. So I think this is your time to really show that you can wow out. You know what I mean? So I got Danny Myers going into this one 2-1. Shout out to None. He can beat you. You know what I mean? I think he could probably win, you know, but I'm going with Danny Myers 2-1. I got money behind these bets. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Now, another one I want to talk about is you got Tay-Rock versus TTop. You know what I mean? This battle, they already battled before. TTop's already won a battle against him. You know, and this is going to be on stage. I don't know if y'all remember when, I think it was TTop, he battled Surf. In his first round, he called out Rock. You know, he was like, yo, I'll leave Rock. You know what I mean? Like, that's when I got interested in this battle. So it was good to see the quarantine battle, but it wasn't obviously a battle like we want to see. I'd say this, TTop is very dangerous, and a lot of people underestimate him. You know what I mean? Like, his angles are, he's one of the best anglers out there, and this is why URL was thinking about TTop versus MurderMook, because he can, like, take all of these different things that's out here right now against Rock. Rock, I see everything. You know, the whole caution situation, like I see everything. You know, he could take all that and spin it around on you. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to say this. I think that Rock talks the talk that people want to hear. And on the Houston crowd, I think he knows exactly what to do. But you're running into danger right now. You know what I mean? But Rock was able to get out of the situation that he had with GichiGati, even though all that was going on, and all them angles that Gotti had, you know what I mean, with the bridge situation, Rock was still able to skate through that, and I got Rock winning that battle 2-1. The first and the second, I'm going with Tay-Rock in this battle. Can TTop win this battle? Yes, he can. You know what I mean? He can win it. You know what I mean? And then you got GichiGati versus Hollow the Don. I don't know where this battle came from. I wasn't expecting this battle, you know, and they don't really have any history, but sometimes battles like this end up being the battles that are, you know, the most interesting, you know, to watch. You know, when you look at GichiGati, I think like the Jazz the Rapper battle and the True Foe battle kind of turned people off of him. He didn't really try that hard versus Jazz the Rapper and True Foe, you know what I mean? He tried. I think he won against True Foe. Now that I watched it again, you know what I mean? First few times I watched, I had True Foe. The 55th Street. You know what I mean? I had True Foe, but when you really watch it and you're really paying attention like more, it looks like GichiGati may have won it, but it was too close, you know, and you ended up losing it because of that. I think the fans are getting tired of Gotti. I think it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I rock with Gotti, but I think that's what the fans, like, where they are with it. I think Hollow the Don could beat GichiGati easily. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. I think he can. You know, if he comes in there, like, even when he battled K-Shine, he wasn't, like, fully hollow, you know, but he cleared K-Shine. Yeah, K-Shine was bad, but the material, it was still a big difference with material. What did he say? I can't remember what you say. He said something crazy, you know, but I think he can beat GichiGati, you know, but I think when GichiGati gets into that disrespectful pocket, I think that's when he's most dangerous. And I think he's probably going to end up doing that with Hollow the Don. And I think that's where Hollow's going to struggle. You see what I'm saying? So I got GichiGati winning this battle 2-1. Just my personal opinion. Y'all don't get mad at me, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? And then you got Goods versus Easy to Block Captain. I'm being real. This is the only battle that's got me wanting to watch NOME. The marketing, the promotion by Goods, by Easy to Block Captain on his channel, on Goods' channel. They going on Jay Black's channel, you know what I mean? Or Easy's going on Jay Black's channel. He's talking about it. He's talking on Twitter. He's going on Three Letter Man's channel. He's talking. He's constantly marketing Easy to Block Captain. I'm interested in this battle to see what's going to happen, but I'll tell you this. Everybody says the same thing all the time when it comes to Goods. Oh, he's been sitting out too long. He can't go up against anybody with aggression. He can't go up against anybody that's lyrical. He can't do, I'm hearing all this. And Surf is doing a very good job at steering the narrative or turning the narrative in Easy to Block Captain's favor. Oh, like, what does Goods do? Like, what is his quotables? Like, what, like, he doesn't rap better than Easy. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. But Surf is not standing in front of Goods. Let's keep it real, because he know what he can do. You know, so everybody, the same arguments I'm hearing for Easy's favor, I heard for Rock. You know, and I was one of them, like, oh, he ain't gonna beat Rock. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he ain't gonna beat Geechee. He about to die. And what happens? It's either debatable or he wins the battle. You know, so I've learned my lesson. I'm not going against Goods. I'm not. You know, I think Goods is going to put us in a... This is the problem that's worrying me about Easy to Block Captain. He's saying people want to see Easy, which is true. People want to see Goods, which is true. The problem is, like, I think Easy to Block, he says something like, yo, Goods ain't never do time. Like, ain't nobody vouched that he did time. Like, he ain't, like, the way he's going to, like, approach this battle, you don't want to have done time, like, dealing with him in a battle. You see what I'm saying? He's going to make it to where would you rather be? I've been there. I've done that. I've achieved things, you know, outside of that. Why would I want to go back? Why are you still talking about the same thing? And he's going to make it with the fans to where the drug talk is repetitive. I think that's what's going to happen. Now, in terms of writing, I think Easy is a better writer than Goods. But I think what Goods is going to get Easy is when he's talking during his round. And he's talking to the crowd. And when he's talking to the crowd, Easy might get frustrated. You know what I mean? And I think that's going to end up hurting him. You know, now what's going to be the context of the battle? Is it going to be Easy to Block, being like gritty, gutter, talking about selling and all this, and Goods talking about having credit and all this? What is going to be the dynamic? Or is Goods going to get back into that bag like, yo, I used to do the same thing that you used to do? I'm curious. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think this is a toss-up. I think this can go either way, but I will say this. I've got money on this battle. Me and Anwar betting. I'm sorry. We are. You know, and I think Goods is going to end up winning this battle. I think he's going to teach Easy to Block a valuable lesson, because when Easy to Block battled K-Shine, I seen him struggling with him in that first round. He rapped for a while until he got to that walk on water line. And then the situation where he rapped towards, Averb in the first round. He rapped for a long time in the first. And Averb still took the first. It's like little things that, you know, I see him struggling with. I think he's going to have a problem with Goods. And all that, when Goods turning the crowd on you, I think is going to be an issue. Now, can Easy to Block win the battle? Of course he can. You know, and much respect to him, like going out into the forefront and just taking the battle. Goods has a lot to lose. If he loses to Easy to Block Captain, Surf can say, I don't want to battle him anymore. You know, you don't think Goods knows that? You know what I mean? Like, he ain't taking his battle because he don't know what to do. He knows what to do. He's been watching Easy. You know, and Easy, I'm sure, has been watching Goods. But at the end of the day, I've seen him live. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Easy, I rock with you, Easy. Easy, don't take this the wrong way, Easy. I rock with him live, but I know what's going to happen, bro. Like, you going to say all this craziness in Houston, and they going to rock with it. And he going to battle you. And the first round, he might throw away setting up the stage for the second and third. And I think it's going to be either close or he's going to win the first impression of the battle. So I've got him winning the second and the third. I think he's going to knock you off of your game. And I'm saying this because I'm hoping you end up figuring out that. You know what I'm saying? Like what people, you know what I mean? People say he can knock you off your game. You know what I mean? Listen to that. He can end up knocking you off of your game and setting the stage to where you're one-dimensional to the fan base. You see what I'm saying? And let them say, oh, well, all he's going to talk about is it. And when you start talking about it, it's going to take, you know what I mean, like the substance away. You know, everybody's going to look at it like, man, this is kind of repetitive. You know what I mean? I think he can do that. You know what I mean? But, you know, I rock with Easy to Block Captain. Like, you know, much respect to him. I always rock with him on this channel. I don't really say nothing bad about him. But I think this is a battle that is dangerous. And you said that this is your easiest battle. And I don't think it is. One of your easiest opponents, and I don't think it is. I think this is one of your most dangerous opponents. My personal opinion, I got Goods going into this battle 2-1. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Don't get mad at me. You know, some people like, oh, well, Easy is like the the newcomer, like he's lit, this, that, and the third. He is, you know, but you gotta think, you know what I mean? Goods has already performed out there. You know what I mean? He's already did his thing, you know what I mean? And then people have seen him multiple times on YouTube, easy to block. He's on an app. You know, I think he can do well, but I think the aesthetics of everything, like when you first looking at it, if you are more accustomed to Goods, is going to be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Easy. You know, I get all your reasoning and you make a lot of sense. You know, but it's a reason, I'm telling you, it's a reason why Surf is not getting in the ring with this dude, because he's dangerous. You know what I mean? But shout out to everybody. If you go into the event, be safe. Please do not be in the crowd yelling and screaming, trying to get your vocals on the mic. You know what I mean? A lot of people are going to be watching this. Just enjoy the show. Don't be trying to fight people. Don't be drink plenty of water. Don't be trying to pass out. None of that. You know what I'm saying? We want to see good, clean battles. But I rock with Easy. I rock with everybody. But those are my predictions. You know what I'm saying? I don't like doing predictions. Sometimes you're wrong. But, you know, I got money on this one, so I'm standing behind it. But I'm out. Come rate, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. Peace.